Midway through the international break means it is time for some more bold predictions. We have changed up the format this season, meaning we now do one for each and every single club in the EFL Championship. Hopefully you are going to get involved down there in the comments with your own bold predictions. The bolder, the better, not to be taken 100% seriously. And if you are enjoying the content here on the Benjamin Bloom Football channel, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Let's start right at the bottom with Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, last time we did this, no administration for Wednesday. They've gone in there in the last block of 6 games. So my bold prediction, knowing that these things take time, is by the time we get to New Year's Eve, there will be one front runner to buy Sheffield Wednesday. We will kind of know who the new owners are going to be. They'll be going through due diligence. The light at the end of the tunnel for Wednesday, one of those 11 interested parties who've shown proof of funds, is going to be out there and ready to take over at Hillsborough. Norwich, I'm not going to make a prediction about the new boss. We don't quite know who that is going to be. But what I will say is Norwich have been utterly hopeless at Carrow Road and lost every single game. Now, I would say on a normal prediction show that they're going to get their first win under whoever the new manager is at Carrow Road. But it's bold prediction, so we've got to double down. So before the end of 2025, Norwich are not only going to win their first game at Carrow Road, they are also going to win their second game. Maybe they will go back to back. There we go. Let's amp it up here. I'm getting excited on a Sunday morning. Norwich, back to back home wins before the end of 2025. Sheffield United, there's a really fun story developed there. So we've got to go all in on Pat Bamford, who you will remember having a rather public spat with Chris Wilder when Sheffield United were promoted in 2019. He has now signed for Sheffield United and for Mr. Wilder some 6 years later. So, of course, we have to predict that Pat Bamford is going to score in his first start, not off the bench, in his first start for Sheffield United, which will probably be before the end of the year. Bamford and Wilder, we need that Paul Rudd gif. Look at us. Look at us. Look at the two of us. Oxford, I'm just going to double down on the prediction I made in the last international break. That is Will Lancashire will have 10 goals by New Year's Eve. Watford are relying on Lancashire's goals, I think, to stay in the division this season. He's got 5. It's going to be some going, but it's bold predictions. He needs 5 in the next 9 games. So we probably need a double somewhere and then 3 spattered about. But if he does it, I think it could be key to Oxford staying above that promotion line. Pompey also, promotion line, relegation line. Be very happy to be above the promotion line, Oxford for sure, wouldn't they? Pompey also want to stay above the relegation line. And for me, it's all about Josh Murphy. He's had a period injured. He's back in. He just looks levels above what Pompey have got. And he was the best player last season. And he was the top or joint top assist. I think it's him and Fellows, wasn't it? For assists last season in the EFL Championship. So let's go big on this one. Give me till FA Cup third round weekend. I think Murphy's going to stick 5 assists on between now and FA Cup football for Pompey. They'll appreciate him like no one's business if he does. Blackburn Rovers have a very interesting run. We know it's 3 game weeks ahoy in December and coming up through and around Christmas. And Blackburn have obviously got the infamous rescheduled game against Ipswich. We've already got a prediction in that Rovers are definitely going to score after minute 79 in that game. But let's say, because Blackburn now have 5 home games out of 7, that they could stack up some points in that run through to Christmas. In fact, it takes them right up to Christmas. 7 games, 5 of them at home. Let's say 12, I'm not going to go 14, but let's say 12 points or more for Blackburn in the period of 7 games. 5 of them are at home, which takes us up to Christmas. That will get them moving. Swansea, we've got a new manager coming in. I've been very positive with my prediction. So I apologise to Swansea fans. I'm going to do a negative one here. We talk about the new manager bounce. I think my mate Matt SB, go and check out his channel, has coined the new manager splat. I wonder whether, and I'm not saying it's not going to work in the long run, and I don't know who they've hired. Kim Hellberg is the favourite. I wonder whether Swansea might change manager and actually be lower in the table than they are right now. They're currently 18th. Let's give them till Christmas. I think it's 7 games. Swansea to change manager and be lower than they are right now. Hope I'm wrong, Swansea fans. Southampton. Right. Saints, even with their back-to-back wins under Tonda Ecker, who may turn out to be the full-time manager, the interim manager, Saints have only won, am I right about this, 4 games all season. So, shall I go to match it? No, it's bold predictions. I've got to go more, haven't I? Let's say, but I need, shall I go Cup third round? Yeah, let's go to the FA Cup third round. Between now and then, which I think is it round 26, that'll be, Southampton will win more games, i.e. 5+, than they've won all season. So Southampton to trend up in the best possible way under whoever their new manager is. By FA Cup third round, they're going to have won more games between now and then than they have all season. That would be 5 or more. A big trend up for Southampton. QPR, I'm going to go for a disciplinary one here. I'm going to go for Mbenge, who, when I was doing my research for this video, popped up as a bit of a yellow card magnet, the centre-half there. Won every 146 minutes. I know Chamado at Stoke is putting up a good challenge, but let's go for Mbenge to get Christmas off. He's going to be the first person, do the Dennis Law trick here, the great Dennis Law. He's going to be the first Championship player to get to 10 bookings this season. And what is that? Someone smarter than me would tell me, would that be like a 4-match ban over Christmas? He can go and kick back with the family, eat some food and then get match ready after a nice suspension over Christmas. And Mbenge at QPR, first Championship player to 10 yellow cards. Watford, every time I mention Watford, I mention loser. He is the guy. He is a baller. He's in the running already for Championship Team of the Season, certainly maybe even Championship Player of the Season. He has 9 goal contribs in 12 games. Now, if you do a little bit of maths, that is 3 goal contributions, goals or assists, every 4 games. If you track that up to Boxing Day, if he plays every game, he'll have made 20 appearances at that point. Let's say for him to continue his great form, loser, so that would be another 6 goal contributions. So let's say Imran loser, by the end of Boxing Day, will have 15 goal contributions. What will it be? Like 9 goals and 6 assists or something. Loser to keep on doing it. Please stay fit, because he's a great player to watch, isn't he? West Brom have not scored 2 goals in back-to-back games this season. So, it's bold predictions, isn't it? Let's say West Brom are not only going to score twice, we're going to undo the floodgates here for Johnston and DK and Madger and Price, and they're all going to start scoring, preferably in back-to-back. Let's go for trio. So, having not done it in back-to-back games before Christmas, so that only gives me 7 games, West Brom are going to score twice in 3 consecutive games. That would be a big sea change for Ryan Mason. Shoot. Wrexham. They are tied with Derby and Coventry at the moment for the most headed goals. I mean, Coventry just top every metric for left foot, right foot, headed, set plays, outside the box, inside the box. So let's let Wrexham have one of them. I mean, Derby looked pretty good loading the ball in from the wing-backs and heading in goals, didn't they, in their winning run. But let's say that by New Year, Wrexham will be top on their own. We need big Kiefer Moore to keep stepping up with the headed goals. I didn't say that. I'm being careful with my language here. They'll be top on their own. So they will lead outright, because no one's got more at the moment. That would be not a bold prediction. So Wrexham, by New Year's Day, will have the most headed goals in the Championship. Leicester, does really seem to all fall on Fatawu's shoulders, this. And I was surprised to see he's only got 3 goals. I think he's only got 1 at King Power as well. So let's say that by Christmas, Fatawu, who should be banging in the goals at this level, will have double the amount of goals he has now. Can I make it any bolder? I think I can. Let's say he's going to have double the amount of goals he has now, and they will all come at the King Power. Fatawu, the main guy at Leicester, to start firing at home for the Foxes. Birmingham, no draws in the last 6. Another 6 games takes us. It takes us 1 away for Christmas. We can't go there. We've got to go all the way up to Christmas, haven't we? Surely. So this might be good news for Birmingham if it means they're winning 2 and losing 1, and then winning another 2 and losing 1, and then winning 3 or whatever that would be. Let's say Birmingham are not going to draw. And the Blues fans will hope that means it's because they are winning. Birmingham are not going to draw between now and Christmas. Decisive results in all of Blues games. And that'd be a 13 streak to add on to the 6 that Birmingham City have done already. Derby County, I've got to talk about Morris, who's on absolutely white-hot form, isn't he? Morris has got 10 goals, but only 3 from open play. I think it is 4 penalties and 3 from set plays. Derby have been excellent in the air, as we mentioned, and from set pieces. So let's say he's going to even this all out now and start scoring from open play a bit more, Morris. So I think he's going to keep scoring, but the next 3 goals Carlton Morris scores will all be from open play. So no penalties and none from set pieces. And we will use Who Scored, the website, to define exactly what that means. Charlton, I want to talk about Nathan Jones, but I wanted to do something about him, like running on the pitch and getting yellow carded, celebrating a goal, but he only ever seems to run down the touchline. Can he get red carded? I either want to say he's going to get a red card for doing something odd on the touchline, or he's going to get a yellow card for over-celebrating a goal. Let's go for the yellow card. So between now and New Year, Nathan Jones, probably at the Valley, it's probably going to be a late goal, is going to run on the pitch and he's going to get booked for over-celebrating a goal. And personally, I am here for it. I would love to see that. Bristol City, I mean, I've got to talk about injuries because that's all the Bristol City fans talk to me about, injuries. I guess the real key guys they're going to want to get back are Jason Knight and Max Bird. So let's say, and it'll probably be in a midfield 3, maybe with Randell. Let's say that before Christmas, the Bristol City fans are going to be really happy because their playoff achieving central midfield pairing from last season are going to be back together. Now we're back together. Before Christmas, Knight and Bird will start together for Bristol City and the clouds will start to clear and their first team strength will start to build back up after this injury crisis. Ipswich. Now, Ipswich have 10 games in the rest of 2025. So do Blackburn. But Blackburn are obviously functioning down there in the bottom 6. Ipswich hoping to function in the top 6. So I wonder whether the extra game for Ipswich means, and the fact that they played Coventry twice in this 10, that Ipswich, between now and the end of the season, will score the most points in the Championship. I know they've scored 20 from their last 10, and the likes of Coventry and Derby, maybe Hull can beat that, but maybe Ipswich might put on a 3 wins in 4 a couple of times in those 10, and maybe they might get some points against Coventry and stop them winning literally every single week, as Coventry tend to this season. Let's say between now and the end of 2025, if you freeze the table, and now I know it's an extra game, but it's still a bold prediction to say Ipswich will score the most points in the EFL. Famous last, why have I done that for the team I support? If you watch we'll give a little plug for the reactions video. Last thing I did for Ipswich was predict a 14-game unbeaten streak at home, and they literally lost the next home game. So I don't know why I've done that, but hey, what am I going to do? Like what I say has got any relevance on what happens on the pitch. Remind yourself of that. Millwall have scored first in all 7 of their EFL Championship wins. So I'd love to see Millwall in the playoffs, but surely you're going to have to score a couple of comeback wins in order to be able to get in the playoffs. You've got to go behind and then go and win a game 2-1 or 3-1 or 3-2 or whatever it is. So let's say Millwall, we were really successful. We predicted a 9-point week for Millwall, and they did it straight away after the last international break. So let's say Millwall are going to get a comeback win. Should we go before Christmas? No, let's go even sooner. Within the first 4 games back, Millwall are going to get a comeback win. So they're going to go behind and go on and win an EFL Championship game. Hull are box office. They are 3 behind Coventry for most combined goals in their games. Now, obviously, Coventry are top of that list because they've scored just so many goals themselves and actually have a very good defensive record. Whereas Hull are pretty balanced, 26 and 24. So let's go for that to continue. I think we said on the hot takes, Hull's most common win this season is 3-2, which I think is absolutely epic, isn't it? So let's say Hull, because they'll probably leak a few goals as well as scoring plenty, let's say Hull will be ahead of Coventry for combined goals. So 4 and against. Maybe they can get, I guess it will have to be like 65 or something, 70 by that point, won't it? Which will be great value. If you're a Hull supporter who goes home and away, you've already seen plenty of goals. Let's say you're going to see even more. Hull, most combined goals by New Year. Preston, I want to talk about Osmajic because if my calculations are correct, he's got a 9-game ban. He will return in the last game of 2025, and we've got to predict him to score, haven't we? Preston play Wrexham in the final game of 2025. I'm pretty sure Osmajic will come off the bench, so he might only get 10, 15, 20 minutes to do this. But let's say Osmajic returns from suspension, all eyes on he, and he scores in that game against Wrexham, assuming he's fit, of course. Stoke, more thrust up top, I think, needed for Stoke if they want to really be in the automatic promotion conversation right the way through this season. Can we get Manhoff, Thomas and Mubama to score in the same game? I know they had those splurgy weekend, didn't they, where they scored 5 against Bristol City and 3 against Oxford. But I want to see, I know they changed the 10 around, don't they, Bay and Baker, but Stoke generally, I think if everyone's fit, will play Thomas, Manhoff and Mubama. I want to see them, let's say before Christmas, because it's bold predictions, all 3 of them to score in the same game for Stoke before Christmas. Mubama, Thomas and Manhoff. I'm rambling. Middlesbrough, I mean, let's double down on Hackney. We said in the last bold predictions, Hackney will start all 46 games for Middlesbrough from central midfield. I wonder if the chances of that have increased now he's moved a little bit further forward. You know, it's a little bit less workload, a little bit less running. I'm sure there isn't. Plenty of pressing to do even from that higher midfield position. But we'll double down on that. Hackney to do Jason Knight did it from central midfield last season. And Borough are still undefeated at home. So should we double down on that one? 5 more home games, I think, until 2026. They do play Coventry. So there's a difficult one in there. Top of the table clash coming up. Let's say Middlesbrough end 2025 unbeaten at home with whoever's managing them at that point. We don't know at time of recording. Hackney will have started every single game. I don't know what that's going to be. Is that going to be round 24? Round 25, I think that will be. So, yeah. Hackney with 25 appearances up. I think I'm right about that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Middlesbrough to still be undefeated at home. And finally, Coventry, I think we need to extend out the prediction we made that Coventry would have 50 goals by Christmas. I believe they only need to score 10 in the next 7. Coventry will definitely score 10 in the next 7, won't they? So let's extend it out. We can get, I think, 3 more games to... no, it'll be 2 more games to the end of... Yeah, because they play New Year's Day, don't they? Is it 2 more games? I'm pretty sure about that. Should we extend it out to 55? I'm just checking. Yeah, it's New Year's Day. They play at Charlton, don't they? So Coventry will be on 55 goals. We'll add a little bit more juice to that one. By the time we get to their fixture against Charlton the fixture against Charlton on New Year's Day, they'll have 55 goals. And let's add a couple more games on to that. Have we gone out far enough? We can't really go any further because we're going to review this. Coventry will be top at it's not international break, it's FA Cup. It'll be round 26. So 11 games time. They've got a 5-point lead now. Let's say that despite the fact that they do play, they got difficult games. They've got Middlesbrough, they've got Ipswich twice, they've got Southampton away in there, Birmingham away, Charlton away, West Brom and Preston away. You've got West Brom as well. Coventry will still be top at FA Cup, 3rd round weekend with 26 played. There we go. Those are your latest load of bold predictions. Thank you for all your support and your encouragement on this. It's quite a bit of work, but you seem to be enjoying it. Here's a spoiler alert, look, or a behind the fourth wall. Doing one for every single club. But it's a good bit of fun and it provides us a nice little time capsule. I'll look back at this in FA Cup 3rd round weekend and think, right, what were we thinking? What were we saying? And what we know about the Championship is in 11 games' time, there'll be 4 managers that we don't know who they're going to be that have been employed by then. There probably have been more sackings. Something mad is going to happen and there's going to be plenty of teams swapping about in the playoff places and the relegation zone. Maybe even the top 2, even though I've predicted number 1 to stay the same for the long term. Get down there in the comments. Get your own bold predictions in. Don't get too triggered. I know some people want everything to be completely straight-laced and have no humour or fun attached to it. It's not really the way here on YouTube. So we have a bit of fun and games with this. But as I say every time on this, the Championship is ludicrous. So if you think something I've said is ludicrous, it will then come in and won't seem very ludicrous at all. Obviously, some of the stuff will turn out to look stupid, but we're trying to figure out what's going to happen in the Championship is like the proverbial needle in a haystack gig. Anyway, so get down there in the comments, hit thumbs up, hit like, and I did my reaction to these yesterday. You can check that out in the archives.